right, I think we are officially live. So welcome everyone to Let's Get Social, our live sew-alongs that we do on Friday. I am extremely excited to say that I have a co-host sewing with me this Friday. And the reason why we have a co-host is because the sew-along that we're doing today is a hack. So it will qualify for the Pattern Hacking 24 challenge. So if you are sewing along, make sure that you enter that challenge. But this hack is a special one because it is one that Danesha did a couple of weeks ago. And when I saw it, I thought, we absolutely have to do it. It will fit. I messaged her and I said, look, is this something that we could do in an hour or less than 2 hours is what the power hour is all about. So the entire month of July, it is about doing sew-alongs that last less than 2 hours. And Danesha said that we absolutely could do it less than 2 hours. So I'm excited because she is going to walk us through the hack portion of this pattern, which is actually super, super cute. And so I'm going to let Danesha introduce herself a little bit. But before we do that, I just want to take a minute to say that if you are sewing along, make sure that you drop something in the chat so that we know you're sewing along, that we can monitor for your questions that you may have. And if you're sewing after the fact and you're watching this and you have questions about things that we do, make sure that you leave a comment. We will be monitoring it and we'll continue to be able to help you for those that sew along at a later time. The last thing that I will point out to you is that Danesha did do a prep video to help anyone that is going to be sewing either along with us in real time or you watch this after the fact. Make sure you watch the prep video. It is on Danesha's YouTube page, which is Classified Life, at Classified Life on YouTube. I also have a link to it in the comments tab of my YouTube page. So it will be very helpful for you to watch that. It's a quick video that will help you prepare for this sew along. So make sure that, again, if you are watching in real time, hopefully you've got an opportunity to look at that prep video first. And if you are watching this after the fact, make sure you pause this, go and watch the prep video, and then come back to this video so that you know exactly what to do. And so with that, I am going to let my co-host introduce herself, and then we are going to get started.
Hi guys, I'm Danesha of Classified Life, and so I made this caftan for simplicity. They had like a caftan challenge, and when I was making it, I just knew that it needed a little oomph. It needed some extraness, so this is the pattern we're making today, Simplicity 5628. And we will be adding ruffles to both sides. It's going to be amazing. You can use really any kind of fabric. I switched it up. Last time I used the same fabric that I used for the bodice for the ruffles, and this time I'm going to use some organza with crepeback satin. But it's such a fun caftan. You can make it in sheer fabrics for beach cover-ups. You can make it for a fancy dinner. Like, honestly, the occasions are endless, and I'm super excited to teach you guys the hack. And like LaShawn has already said, I made a prep video going into details about how much you'll need for the length for the ruffles and how to go about prepping all of that before we get into the sew along. So this is a good place to pause, watch that, and then come back and sew along with us. And I'm also streaming over on Instagram, so hello to my Instagram followers. If Instagram stops streaming for whatever reason, it may only go for an hour, you can head over to my YouTube channel to continue watching and supporting. And then also same goes for TikTok. Hello, guys.
So thank you so much. So I just so that you're aware, I did lose connection on one of my devices. So my visual probably looks a little bit different. I'm going to be joining back. I didn't realize my iPad was not charging. So we're going to get started because I think that I think you can see at least temporarily while I am.
I can see, but I need 2 seconds because it's not connected.
Okay.
Let me see.
From stage. Okay, there we go.
Uh-oh. Trying to give into feedback. Why wouldn't you? Okay, here it is.
Is this any?
I'm hearing feedback from it. Let me hold on.
I think it's me. Let me log off and log back on. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. I think we are back. Um, and I'm not going to log on. So as you all know, I stream to multiple
Okay.
platforms. So hello to everyone that is joining from TikTok, and hello to everyone that is joining from Facebook and YouTube. And also Danesha is streaming to Instagram as well, and her YouTube page. So welcome to everyone that is on. We welcome you. Hi, Aisha. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi, the professional designer. Welcome. We are so happy that you're here. Margaret and Bernice, Leo. Hi, Jalen, Lizzie, Janae. Welcome, Chica, Gloria, all of the people that are joining Black Barbie from from TikTok. Welcome. We're excited to have you joining us today. And so we're, as Danesha, are you good?
No, I'm still not seeing myself on YouTube.
Okay. And it's on my end, it is showing that you're connected. There's like a green check mark on my end. So
okay.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit about my fabric that I am using. So as Danesha stated, she used a single fabric for the entire caftan. Both her ruffles and her caftan was the same fabric. I am actually going to take that approach today. I am using it's like a stretchy, like mesh like fabric. It is see-through. It's a see-through fabric, and I'm using it as a bathing suit cover up. So Danesha, just so you know, Natalie says that she can see you on YouTube.
Perfect. I see myself now. I just realized it just didn't pick up how I left the notify. It's okay. I see it. It's up there.
It's up there. Okay, great. That's great. So I'm using like it's like a mesh like fabric. It does have some stretch in it. It's a two-way stretch fabric. It is see-through. It's very soft to the skin. So again, I'm super excited about doing this. I just feel like it's going to look extremely, extremely good. So not a two-tone this time around. I have made this caftan before, obviously without the ruffles. Wish I would have put ruffles, but it's never too late. I may end up putting some ruffles on it at some point because I absolutely love the thought of doing the ruffles. So with that, I feel like we can get started. So this is a very quick, in my mind, a very quick. So probably where we will spend the most time is putting the ruffles on, which will be the last step that we'll do. Danesha, you were gonna add anything?
No, I agree. I'm just gonna show my fabric. So I'm using.
Yes, sorry.
No, it's okay. I mentioned it, but this brown crepe back satin. I got my fabric from Joann, and this kind of stood out to me when I was fabric shopping. So I decided I wanted to try like organza or tulle. Tulle will take a lot more patience, so I'm gonna double back on that one because this already took a lot of patience. But this organza was beautiful, and I love that it was like two-tone. So depending on how light, I just feel like it's gonna be a great combination. And so that's what I'm using for mine, and we can get started.
Okay, great. So Danesha did share this with us in the prep video to make sure that you do transfer your markings, and because that's an important part. Again, there are not that many, but we will be referring to them as we are putting the pieces of the caftan together. So the first step is that we are going to take the front and the back. So you do have piece number 1. I think they are numbered. Let me look at it really quick. I still have attached. I think it's piece number 1 and it is A. So the front is piece A, and I'll just show this to you. So piece A is the front. You can see, so we're going to take piece A, and we are going to take piece B, which is the back, and we are going to attach them at the shoulder seams. The only thing I will point out to you is before you kind of separate your pieces from your pattern pieces, so that you transfer the marking. And so if you probably can't see it on the screen, but basically there are some notches at the top that you want to transfer, and then there are these lines that you want to transfer, and these are where we're going to create stitches, these stitch lines. So if you have not done that piece, you do want to do that piece. It will be helpful for you after we attach it. So you're gonna open them up, and you are going to place them right sides together, and we're going to stitch them basically along the top where the shoulder seam is. And you can use your notches to match up your front and your back piece. So again, just make sure you do right sides facing. So this fabric that I'm using, one of the things that is a little challenging with it is sometimes it can be hard to see the front from the back. So it takes me a minute to really look at it because they are almost the exact same, but one is a little bit more colorful than the other. So I just have to like really like look at it and see.
Did you do your notches in the neck hole spot?
I did my notches.
I don't know.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I only did it. So to your point, I only did it at the shoulder. So let me do that now.
Because that's a helpful way to tell the front from the back. The back always has more notches, so it's double notched in the back and single notching. And that's how I
see.
Mine's.
Let me make sure that. Now I'm gonna try to, and now I have to go back and try to figure out which one is which because I didn't carry over that. And I didn't really look at it close enough to see like how much different the front is from the back.
Yeah.
But to your point, let me make sure that I'm doing. So I'm just lining mine back up. So the one thing that I told you, make sure you do, I didn't do. All right, let's see. I think this is the wrong one, so I'm gonna try this one. Let's see if that is better. These are real. Yeah, they are very close to each other. I am matching it up now, and I feel like they're literally almost the same.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? Well, so all the more reason why it's important to match up your notches. Okay, let's see. All right, I feel like this is definitely it. So we're going to do this again. Front, where's my chalk? And I'm using chalk to a blue color. Which, again, everything is really hard to see on this fabric because it's got a lot of colors in it, for one, and two, it is, maybe a pink probably would have been enough. I should have, and I do have a pink chalk, but. And so again, all I'm doing right now is making sure that my notches are transferred. And once I do that, then I will be putting it right sides together and stitching along the shoulder seam. So, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So I'm just stitching the shoulder seams now.
So I know you said you used your caftan to participate in the caftan challenge, Simplicity Caftan Challenge. Did you also participate in the hackathon challenge, unsocial hackathon challenge?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you got to join. It's like they have ambassadors every week. They focus on a different type of garment. So this week they're actually doing jumpsuits, I believe is what they're doing.
Oh, I saw Shamir. I think she did tops. I didn't.
Yes. So they started with tops, and then I think both of them end up turning it into. Oh no, you know what was it? Skirts? I can't remember. Don't get me the line.
Okay.
I'll remember. But yeah, Shamir and I forget the other sewist, her Instagram. What is it?
Yeah, I can't remember who she was with.
Yeah, she is with. Oh my goodness, let me go in there. And I literally reposted her stuff, and I can't remember her Instagram.
And just for those, most of the fabrics, unless you're using like a knit phrase when it comes to this, so I will be serging my raw edges. So I do have my serger set up too, just because it will fray. You can also do what are those? Frames if that's your preference, but I'm just doing it regular and serging.
Yeah, and my fabric, believe it or not, it does not fray. So I am not going to be serging.
Yeah, since you have a knit.
It is, you know what? It's not a knit. It's more like a mesh, but it doesn't fray.
Yeah, meshes are a good choice for this.
It does not fray. So I'm very happy that I do not have to, that I don't have to serge. It's one less step to worry about doing. Okay. And oh my goodness, 67 new messages. Let's see. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. If you are sewing along, make sure that you drop something in the chat so that we know you're sewing along, so we can be monitoring for you. So Natalie asked 5/8 of an inch. I'm assuming that you're talking about seam allowance.
Yes, and
yes. For the top, and yes.
I will disappear for a little when it's time to iron my seams open, but
yeah, that's going to be really tricky for me because so this
you might get not having to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to do that piece just because you know what? I don't know. I'm going to see. I got my little, I'm going to use my, okay, this is great. Here we go. So now I am matching up my shoulder seams. And I'm using clips because, again, this is the kind of fabric that I think pins don't work well with, that it just will slide off.
Yes, I'm a clip girl. Yeah.
Yes.
Unless it's a dark.
I'm so excited about this. I'm literally going swimming tomorrow, and I'm going to wear this.
I love it.
I'm going to wear it tomorrow. That's how excited I am. I'm like, the timing can be great because I normally just throw on some leggings over my bathing suit. I know that's terrible, but that's what I do. And now I'm like, I'm gonna be able to wear the. Yeah, I just usually grab like an old tank top and
Yeah.
some leggings and throw it right on over top of my bathing suit and keep it moving. And now I'm gonna have this beautiful caftan to wear over my bathing suit.
Right, and honestly, you could double it as a dress if you have a simple black slip dress, or I'm not sure what color your fabric is, but
Yeah, no, I definitely, So I went back. I love this fabric so much. I went back. I got the last chance, and I went back and got some more because I do plan to make a dress, and I'm gonna line it with like a black, satin or something. Because it's just so nice. I just like it a lot. Okay, so I am putting in my shoulder seams now. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Let me just double confirm that it's right sides together because.
oh yeah, my fabric is very easy to tell because one side's shiny, but if not, I get it because my other one was not easy to tell.
Yeah, this is like one of those things where it's like I'm nervous about it, and I'm also nervous about let me just turn this around so you can see. I'm also nervous about going down into the into the plate because it's that kind of fabric where it can easily sucked in. So to your point, this pattern is absolutely a great pattern to make a quick summer dress. Like I said, I forgot I made it twice before. I made it with like a woven, a rayon, and I made it with a knit. I forgot that I made it twice. I was thinking about like, oh, I forgot that I wore it. And the other thing that I will say is that there's a lot of ease in the pattern. So I noticed that when I did it with my knit, that I had to do a lot of adjustment to get a more tighter fit that I wanted. Whereas with the woven, I did not have to do that. I used the smallest stitch line. What I also might end up doing is I might end up doing, not on live, but after the fact, flat fell stitch.
Yeah.
I might end up doing that just to have that clean finish, just because you can see through my fabric. And I think it just gives it a much cleaner look when you have fabric that you can see through.
Agreed, for that type of fabric for sure.
Okay, so I have put both my Anthony, you can definitely come swimming. You can come swimming anytime you want. So Unsocial is on. I just finished talking about Chris. I just finished talking about the challenge, which we are definitely going to be posting because this is definitely a hack. I'm really excited about. So we have put in our shoulder seams.
Yes,
now on each side. Go ahead, Danesha. I'm sorry.
I said I'm just ironing mine open. So
okay, yeah. So I'm not going to iron mine because I think I'm going to end up doing a flat felled stitch. So I will record that part of it. I did it with something else recently, and I really liked it. I was like, oh, this is nice. I like it. It's such a clean look to it. So while you're doing that, I am literally going to. I'm gonna start. So for those that are just joining, we are doing Simplicity 5628. It is a caftan. I am doing it to create a bathing suit cover. swimsuit cover. But it could definitely be used to create a dress. I think we are doing, Danesha, you're doing the view 2, the longer version?
Yes.
So we are both doing view 2, which is the longer version. And then again, we're hacking it to add a ruffle all the way around. Hi, Monica. Hi, Lala. Welcome. Natalie, are you sewing along? Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Okay. So while we are, I'm just going to talk through our next step is to add our facings. So this is literally 4 pattern pieces. It's the front, the back, and then you have 2, well, it's more than 4 because we've hacked it. So you have 2 more pieces, which are your ruffle pieces. But it's the front piece, the back piece, and then you have 2 facing pieces that will be going around your neck. And so they are literally 2 half circles. And so we are going to put our front and back pieces to the side, and we're going to grab your facing pieces, which are piece C and D.
Oh, wait,
did we miss something?
Maybe.
Oh, the stitch around the neckline. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say where
yes.
is it? It's just it's written not in the direction but on the picture. So yes,
it's on the picture
around the neckline because we do not want that to stretch out. Otherwise, our neckband will not fit.
That's right. So when you are stitching around the neckline, the one thing you want to be mindful of is that you're not just doing one complete circle, because in order for this to be effective in preventing your neckline from stretching, you do need to take it and you need to go from the shoulder to the center, and then on the other side, go from the shoulder to the center, and that's the front. And then you need to do the same thing to the back. Go from the shoulder to the center, and then the same thing, the shoulder to the center on the back as well. Hey, Miss Auntie Carol, welcome. So thank you for picking that up, because to your point, so Danesha made a really good point. And on this pattern, it doesn't actually tell you to do that, but the instructions are not just the written instruction. You also have to look at the pictures to tell like what are all the steps that you have to do. And so the doing the stay stitch around the neckline, it doesn't explicitly tell you that, but then it shows you that on the picture of step 1 that you do need to do that step. So we are going to do that step. And when you are doing the stay stitch, the other thing it doesn't tell you, but you do want to do that in your seam, within your seam allowance.
Yes.
Because you don't want it to show after the fact. The one thing I realized is with the, with this mesh, you do have to be careful with how fast you sew it, because it will start to like gather if you go too quick.
Yeah.
And you want it to lay like flat. So you can't really see it, but it does start to like try to gather a little bit. So I'm just always careful to make sure, because I don't want it to gather. It's supposed to lay flat. To go slow. All right, here we go. Here we go. So anybody working on sewing anything this weekend? I'm always excited to hear what people are working on, what people are sewing, what they're excited about. in the sewing community. Again, if you aren't aware, you know, the Unsocial has the pattern hacking challenge going on. And I think the reveal is tomorrow. I've been traveling all week, so I have not been as tuned in as I normally am, but I believe that the reveals have typically been on Saturdays. And so I'm excited to see the reveals. It's Diana, and let me tell you who else.
Let's see Diana posting. And not super tuned in, but I did see one of her lives.
And I'm going to post to my stories on Instagram, Unsocial's post that gives all the specifics about the challenge, just in case someone's like, I am going to enter using this pattern. Again, it's an easy way to enter. Nice, you could make it into a dress. It's very nice.
Perfect. My stay stitching, trimming down loose threads.
And I'm just basically working out the ruffles that are trying to form. They're trying me. They're like, we want to gather.
Thank you.
So the reveal is tomorrow. So you definitely have to, if you want to see the reveal, to see. I'm always excited. I love hacking. It's probably one of the, I feel like I hack like most of my patterns, honestly.
Yeah, I'm about a 90% hacker. I don't make many things the way, as we can see here, I am showing a hack. I don't make many the way they are supposed to be.
So I love seeing, you know, everyone's creative side and how they take something and turn it into something completely different. Like, that's always like exciting to me. All right, here we go. So I have to like seam rip my stitch in order to get out, to release the
ruffling.
Yeah. So even with me going slow, so I'm going to actually do it a little bit more just so I could go to the edge of it. And then instead of back stitching, I am going to just release it a little bit. All right, that's better. Same thing on this side. So and there's probably a trick to this if you are sewing with mesh, there's probably a way that you can eliminate it trying to gather. I just don't know what it is. It's something that I need to Google. Or let me see, Auntie Carol, you still on? So Coco T says, well, first of all, welcome. And she says she's working on her Frocktails outfit, which again, like, so excited about that. As soon as we finish this live, I'm going to be working on my Frocktails outfit as well. I have literally 4 sew days left between now and Frocktails because I'm traveling all next week and I'm traveling all the week after that.
Oh, wow.
I know. I literally get back in town on Friday.
Did you decide the method to gather? Or are you going to use elastic?
So I'm going to try all of them. I'm going to take like a small...
My answer.
What did you vote? What did you vote?
I didn't vote any. I meant to message you and say I would just take a small sample and do all three.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's literally what I'm going to do. I feel like just going on to the original designer's site, I feel like they used cheering is what I feel like they did just based on how the gather looks.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try all of them and see which one gives me the best. And also which one is the easiest, honestly. So I'm going to try. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, I am almost done. It's just taking me a little bit longer because I need to make sure it doesn't do that gathering that it's trying to do.
Okay.
All right, I got one more piece to do, one more section, I should say, and then I will be ready.
All right.
And okay, let me just get this gather out. And I think I'll be good to go. Okay, there we go. So I have got all my gathers out because this part is not intended to be gathered. Now, I just want to check one thing, which is to make sure this thing actually is going to fit over my head and it is, okay. Because as you all know, you put that stitch in and it will do exactly what's intended, which is to prevent it from stretching. But you also want to make sure that you can get it over your head. And so I can. Because otherwise you'll do all that work and you won't be able to get it on. Okay, so I put our stay stitch in. We're going to put this over to the side and you're going to grab your piece C and your piece D. Hi, Shamir. Welcome.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yes, now we're moving on. It's funny how it says unit 1, unit 2. Anyways,
I know, right?
That's facing. So where's my facing pieces? Okay, and I've just clipped them together already, and we're just gonna sew same 5/8 of an inch to sew your front and back together. Now for this, for the unnotched edge, which is like the longer edge that will be turned under, it's to stitch 1/4 of an inch from the unnotched edge and press under, and then basically make a narrow stitch on the edge because it'll be on the inside. I am going to serge because my fabric frays and it's just an easier, quicker way. I know, Natalie, you're sewing with us, so however you want to finish the edge for yourself, and then I don't think LaShawn needs to do anything because her fabric doesn't fray. So we're just going to go ahead and sew these at the side and then finish the bottom edge however you prefer. That will be the longer edge.
Right. I may end up, again, after the fact, doing a flat felt stitch, but mine doesn't fray, so it feels like it's going to be too complicated. I may just let it lay and not do anything extra because there's no fray to it. And I have to be extra careful because unlike fabric that you can't see through, where you can really get away with if, things aren't perfect, because you can see through this, I don't want to create anything that's going to look like an imperfection.
Yes. Hello, Matt. Is that Meb B? Hi.
Hi, Matt. Welcome. Hi, Sam, Naisha, Betty, welcome. Sexy Greta, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for liking the live, for sharing. And for those that are joining us on Facebook and YouTube, thank you also for liking and sharing. We appreciate it.
I just finished my edges, including my seam allowance. That's what I'm at.
The one thing I may end up doing, and again, once I decide whether I'm going to do a flat felt stitch or not, I may end up cutting my seam allowance, but I'm not going to do that now until I make a determination about what I'm going to do. I'm like so anxious and excited to get to the ruffle part of this.
Literally going to change the game.
I'm excited to do it.
I love it.
And I hope that others will like be inspired to sew it based on seeing our garments. I would definitely classify this as also a beginner friendly pattern.
Hey.
And most Jiffy patterns are.
Yeah.
At least in my experience.
It's always like 4 pieces.
Right.
Very simple.
But even with the ruffle, I feel like it is still like very much beginner friendly.
If you just have some patience when it comes to those ruffles, you'll
You know what? I feel like it was so, I mean, again, because of my fabric, as you could see, it already started kind of ruffling a little bit as I was sewing it. This is without me having to do anything. So I have my little tails there so I can make adjustments as we're putting it on. But I may not have to do anything because it was already like, yeah, it was already like gathering as I was sewing it.
Did you for your gathering?
You said, did I what?
Did you just use a basting stitch?
I did do the basting stitch, Ruffled. And the main reason I did that is because as everybody knows who knows me, I love my gathering foot. I use it every single chance I get. But because this was so much.
Yeah, I the first one I actually did gather it with a gathering foot to start, and then it wasn't gathered enough for my liking, so then I put basting stitch in.
What did you what setting did you put? Like a gather every what? 1, 6?
I just did it on my, so it was like a basic setting. I didn't have it. I had as high as it could go for the gathering.
Okay, for gathering. Okay. Yeah, I always find that like so the way my gathering foot works, you could set it like you could set it to 1 every 1 stitch a gather, every 6 stitch, every 12 stitch a gather.
On your serger?
Is
this on your serger?
No, this is on my actual sewing machine.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't have I might have a gathering foot for my sewing machine. I just discovered that I had one for my serger, so I was like, let me try this.
Oh, so you had a special gathering foot for your serger?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. I had bought when I bought the machine, I had bought like the add-on of presser feet that I never opened or used. Well, actually,
don't you love that? When
I use
discover.
For swimwear, I was using the elastic foot, but I had never tried any of the other ones.
So talk about the elastic foot.
Oh my God.
Oh, so hold on 1 second. Auntie Carol, my question was, when you are stitching, is there a setting or a way that you can prevent like really thin fabric? Like for example, this mesh, as I'm sewing it, it's just automatically gathering or creating a gather as I'm sewing. And I'm thinking there's a way to prevent that from happening and thought you might have a tip for how that could be. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danesha.
Okay. So the elastic foot it's actually on my serger right now because unless you're using it, it could just work like a regular presser foot, but it has a feed where you can feed the elastic in and you can adjust to whatever the length of elastic that you're using. I always use 1/4 inch rubber elastic for my suits. And it just allows me to serge my swimsuit and attach the elastic in the same go instead of serging or sewing together the swimsuit and then sewing on the elastic. It just does it all in one passing.
Oh wow. Yeah. I saw like a video on Instagram of it, and I don't know if I have elastic foot for my machine, but I'm very interested in it because again, I'm all about, I know the traditional way of how you put elastic in, but I like things that make it easier.
Right.
So I'm like, I need that.
Yes, it is a literal game changer. Well, swimsuits is one of the things I make the most. And I saw Katie using it in her videos, and I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I gotta get one of those. And then I was like, oh, before I get one of those, do I have one of those? And then I saw that I did. So I was like, even better.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into trying to get one.
Yes. I need to share about that actually. I love it.
Okay. So once you, well, I'm sure are you still serging yours?
I'm done. I'm
okay, you're done. Okay.
ready to pin the neckband to the front neck and just making sure that your notches are aligned, because double on the back, single on the front, and making sure your right sides are together.
Right sides facing.
And those notches.
What did I do? Over here.
Take it to the sewing machine, 5/8 of an inch. Actually, I'm gonna have the bodice pieces facing out where we did the stay stitching, just so I can keep an eye on my stitches and make sure that I don't have my stay stitching outside of the stitch line, so it doesn't show. If that makes sense.
So you say you're going to have your bodice pieces facing out.
Yeah, so that I can actually see where the stitches are already at.
Okay. Okay.
Ellie said she's going to serge as well. Perfect.
So I am now going to be clipping. I am matching my seams.
Yes.
And let me see, I'm going to turn my light on. Because it is very difficult to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I need to turn this right side out. Isn't this like gorgeous? I mean, look at this.
So excited. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I turn this right side facing out, and that way I can have my right sides facing each other, and I just need to make sure. I need to find my chalk marks, which can be very hard to find. Okay, I think this is it. Just put a little clip there so I can. I'm just trying to find my chalk lines. Okay, here we go. And that is 1. Okay, here we go. Hey, Dee. Welcome. Hey, Brooklyn Timmy. Hi, Judy. Thank you.
I'm not sure why my camera has flipped. Let me try to figure that out.
You know what? If you have an iPad, you might want to turn your iPad around because that happens to me too sometimes. If
I'm
you
gonna turn it again and then lock it.
okay, yep, because that has happened to me on StreamYard. If I have it going the other way,
I have it horizontal, but it just randomly went vertical.
and so the one thing I will just remind everyone that when you have a neck facing like this, you want to make sure that you do your seam allowances exact, because your facing, your seams won't line up and your notches won't line up if you like did 1, 5/8 and 1/2, so you just want to make sure that you're doing that your seam allowance is the same. So if you are reducing it because you want it to, make it fit or something like that, you have to reduce it on both, because otherwise your facing will be smaller or bigger than your neck, your opening. It won't fit on it like it's supposed to. Just a little tip that I learned the hard way.
We're back.
Okay, there you go. All right, so I have right sides together, attached my facing, and now I am going to, at 5/8 of an inch, stitch all the way around. Let me see. And again, I'm not going to trim my seams afterwards just because I think I might be doing a flat felt stitch and I want to think about it first. But I don't have the issue with fraying, so I also might just leave them unfinished.
Perfect.
So I'm going extra slow on this because, again, to prevent the gathering effect that seems to be happening. I actually turned my stitch speed down.
Good idea.
And that does seem to be helping. So what I did before is just kind of not press on my presser foot as much. But I think I needed to do a little bit more, which is to actually turn my speed down.
I'm going to go ahead and just serge that edge before we understitch.
Okay. Oh man, you know what? I just realized that my seam is not lined. I was like, why is this not lining up? All right, there we go. Okay, let me see. So, Danesha, Natalie asked, did you serge your neckline?
Yes. Before the understitching, I went ahead and serged.
And I think that makes it easier too.
Yeah.
When you serge it first.
Otherwise, it's like fighting to get what's left out to serge.
Yeah, totally agree with that. We've been good. We've been good, D. Like, I actually haven't been on socials all week because I was traveling and I was on the West Coast, so like 3 hours time difference. So I was like just doing a little bit of a check-in, but not as much. So I have missed like any and all action that has happened this week. But I'm going to be catching up this evening and seeing what people have been up to. Excited to catch up on what some of my favorite sewists have been doing. I can see how people do that flat felled stitch for everything, even though it takes a much longer time. I can see how people, because it will do it for a lot of their sewing, because it just looks so neat.
Oh,
it looks so neat.
Although I serged, I am gonna clip. It says with the right side together, pin facing to neck edge, matching centers and small dots. Stitch the neck edge, trim seam, which I kind of trimmed it down when I serged, and clip the curves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a very important part because that's to get the neck facing to turn in properly. You need that because I skipped that step at first on my other one and was like, okay, this is wonky. So I'm still gonna clip even though I serged.
Oh, why is my My TikTok is going to try to shut me out because I forgot to move the puzzle piece.
Oh, I have to do that.
Yeah, I don't know why it does it. I don't for I guess I don't move around enough, so it doesn't pick up that I am here. And so every, so often it'll say, move this puzzle piece over, and I missed it before it cut off, and now it's not refreshing. Um, and it won't let me log off and log back on. So I guess I just have to wait. Okay, so I am just taking out the seam of the first. I started stitching on my facing, and then I realized it wasn't lined up. So I stitched the other half, and then now I'm just taking out one part so I can reattach it. So as much as I love using matching thread, it also makes it hard when you have to seam rip it.
Yes.
In this case, I don't have any choice because my fabric is see-through, but sometimes I think about when I do stuff like a stay stitch or things like that on fabric that you can't see through, I think about doing a complementary color thread, so that if I do need to do something with it, take it out, it's so much easier to do.
Very true.
But I want to make sure I don't accidentally rip through my beautiful fabric.
I always go really slow when I do these clips in the neck because I want clips through fabric, like the bottom.
Oh, that sucks.
So just take my time with this.
No, I think it definitely helps it to lay down when you do that clipping around the curve.
Yes, it's necessary.
So you said in the one that you just made, that the peach colored one, you didn't do it?
No, I didn't. Now I'm realizing, like, oh, okay. Well, I'll be going back and putting clips in that because it.
Right. So then you can press it out really well. I know, honestly, I never consistently did that, particularly when I had fabric that I was worried about it fraying. I was like, the least that I can cut it, the better it will be. But then to your point, you then have to deal with the other side of that, which is
not laying right.
it not laying flat, right, around the curve. And so it's just making sure that you do a couple of clips around on the inner part of it too, but not through your stay stitch and your not just your stay stitch, your seam. You don't want to cut through it.
I'm gonna come close just to show all little clippings all the way around to make sure.
Yes.
Turns in. Okay,
and I'm catching up with you right now. I just got to stitch this
perfect. I'll wait.
piece. Okay, now that I got everything lined up, I am just going to stitch this other side. Yeah, you know what, Dee? I am slowly, like, fallen in love with the flat felt method. I like it. Like I said, I did it, and I really liked it. So
Hey.
I'm really thinking I'm gonna do it for this caftan. Particularly, like I said, I think I like it either whether you can see through the fabric or not. But
I think that another good thing that you could do. I don't know if you ever made like a bias cut dress where they do French seams, where it's well, I guess you'd have to stand. You would lose some more seam allowance, but if you have the extra, like this is pretty loose fitting. Seams are really good for fabric that fray, but also for see-through fabric because it just kind of encloses it, and then it looks a lot cleaner of a finish.
Yeah, that's another thing that I do love, which is to use bias tape to finish. I do that. I do that a lot, even when the pattern doesn't call for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Very clean.
I like that it's like so clean, so neat. And I also found like I bought all this. What made me really start doing is I had all this bias tape that I just every time I would go to the store when I would see, oh, buy 2 get 3 free, buy 3 get 2 free. I would just literally buy all this bias tape, and I was like, why am I buying all this? I rarely use it, and then I just started using it to finish stuff, and I loved it. And I'm like, now I'm hooked on it.
Oh, I love it. I have a mini collection myself. Hi, Monica. She just joined over on Instagram. I saw Monica working on this dress that she's going to wear for a wedding. And
okay,
it's like her fabric's kind of pleated. And I have this like crinkle pleated like fabric that Shamir actually has it too. We got it from the closing of Melanated Fabrics. And seeing Monica dress, Shamir made like a tiered skirt out of the colors, and I'm like, okay, I want to cut into that. I don't know. That dress is looking real cute that Monica's making.
I love seeing what people are working on. The sewing community is like on fire these days. Like everybody is in their creative bag and just
I love to see it.
Doing a lot, and I love it. It's like inspiring me to step out of my comfort zone, wear more color.
Yes.
Like I am definitely a person that will wear black everywhere.
I used to be that way.
Often, and I love, like, let me tell you, when I would go to the store, it could be something in multiple colors, and if I see it in black, I'll get it in black. I just can't. I'll try it on, and I'll be like, oh, I love it, and then when I try it on in black, I'm like, but the black looks better always.
I just went to Target on my last layover, and I saw this dress. Oh my gosh, a girl was looking at it actually, and she was complimenting my outfit, which was a handmade, but I didn't tell her that. I just said thank you. And then I looked at what she was looking at, and it was such a cute dress. And 3 colors, cream, like a grayish green, and black. And I used to be that same way. Like, I'm going to get the black, but I forced myself. I was like, nope, I'm going to get the cream. It's so cute. I have to post it soon, but unfortunately, I couldn't find a link online. So it's like one of the things that are just like, if you see it, you see it, and it's in the Target, but no link, but it's such a cute dress. Worth going to see if your Target has it.
Well, I'll wait and see if when you post it, I will definitely go look for it.
It's so cute, but it also came in black.
Yep, and I need black is like my color. Okay, so I have finished, and I think I have decided that I am going to do the flat felt seam, just looking at how much fabric is there. So I'm going to do that. That is how I'm going to finish the inside. You can't really tell, but I feel like it will be a much cleaner finish to do the flat felt seam for the inside. So I'm not going to clip what Danesha just did, which is clip the circle. I probably will, but I'm going to wait just because I don't want to clip it. And then once you cut it, that's it. It's done. So especially because as a part of doing the flat felt seam, you do have to cut one of the seams like basically in half so that you can wrap the other one around. So I want to play around with it a little bit, also to get a feel for how the iron is going to, how this fabric is going to respond to heat.
Are you going to understitch right now or no?
I'm not. So I'm not going to do that part. So if you want to understitch, did you do it already?
I'm about to right now.
Okay. So I'll just talk people through. So if you have taken the traditional, what I'm going to call the traditional route, which is following the instructions, after you have done your clippings again around the inside of the neck, the facing, and again, we're doing those clippings because it's going to help your fabric around that facing lay flat. So it's not going to like have a buckled look when you're trying to like fold it under. It's going to release some of that tension and allow it to lay flat. When you do that, then the next thing that you're going to do is you are going to understitch. Basically, you're going to take the seam allowance and you are going to stitch it to your facing piece. And you're going to do basically a I'm going to call it a narrow stitch. It's like very close to the seam. And again, what you're doing is you are basically stitching the seam allowance to the facing is what you're going to do. And you're going to go all the way around. So I will probably end up doing that step, but it's going to be after I do my flat felt stitch. It's going to be after I do it. But I'm convinced that I do need to do that. That I want to do it because I feel like it's going to give me the cleanest look.
All right, I'm done.
Oh, that was fast.
There we go.
So Auntie Carol saying I should do French seams. The fabric is too flimsy for felled seams. The felled seams are better for stable fabrics. Okay, so I may end up doing that then instead.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it reminds me of bias, and if it's so sheer that French seam would be
the best bet. Okay, so I'm gonna take Danesha's and Auntie Carol's advice, and instead of doing the flat felt seam, which I've just recently been kind of doing, I'm gonna do the French seam instead. But I'm gonna do it after the fact. It is something that I can do after the live. Again, this is not what the instructions say. I'm just choosing that route because my fabric is see-through and I don't want it to look unclean around the neck. So I feel like that'll be one of the best ways to be able to do that.
all right.
Okay, so let's see. So we did the understitching.
Next should be the bodice, I think.
It is. Yes, so the next part is actually telling us to hem the sides of the edges, basically.
So what I did is finish it with serging, and
so you serged it
because I'm gonna sew the ruffles on. It didn't make sense to him, but
that's so. If you are, and I'm actually not going to do it on mine as either because we're doing the ruffles on it. So if you are following along and you are not doing the ruffles, you will want to basically hem the side of your caftan. That would be the next step, to hem the side. So you are basically going from, you're going to press under 1/4 of an inch on the edge on the side of your caftan, and then you are going to is it telling you to do a double fold? Yes. So you're going to basically press it in 1/4 of an inch, and then you're going to fold again and then stitch. That is what you're doing to the side. Again, if you are doing the if you're adding the ruffles, then you probably can skip that step because we again are going to be attaching ruffles all the way around the perimeter of the caftan. My fabric doesn't fray, so I'm also not doing it. Another option is, again, because we are doing ruffles, is that you could just serge around the perimeter of your caftan. So basically the top and then, basically the entire rectangle. So that's what you can do. So then once we finish that part, the next thing to do is to take your caftan right side facing out, and you are going to then just pin or clip your your side seams. So lining up your seams so that they are both lined up from top to bottom. Because the next thing that we're going to be doing is to put in our, basically creating our sleeves, creating our arms, and you're doing that by stitching on the stitch line. And so because you want them to line up, you need to make sure that you clip or pin your fabric together on both sides. No, I am not. So the question is, am I almost finished with my Baltimore Frocktails outfit? I am not. So I have been gone all week. So what I did when I was home, I basically left on Monday. No, I was gone Sunday. I've been gone since last Sunday. So I basically put together like the shell of it, and then I had to go. So I haven't done anything since what I posted as my like update. So the next thing, well, actually, yes, I did. I put together, like, I finished the seams, put together the top and the bottom. The rest was turning around. So what I'm going to work on today is I am going to start testing out the different methods of creating the ruffles. So I did a poll, kind of asked people what did they think I should do. And I think the elastic was the kind of the winner, but I'm going to try all three and see which one I actually prefer. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that this evening. And then once I figure out the method that I'm going to use for creating the elastic, then I'm going to literally create bands of elastic, or ruffles, I'm sorry. I'm going to create like bands of, or strips of ruffles. And then I'm going to like play around and place them on my dress and then stitch them down. So I feel like I have 4 sewing days left before Baltimore Frocktails, and Saturday, Sunday is 2. And then when I come back from travel, I have another Saturday, Sunday. So I have to literally finish. So what it's looking like, if I don't finish tomorrow, it's looking like my muslin is going to be my frocktail outfit, which I'm taking my time with it so that it is more than a muslin. I'm really I was just trying to making sure I didn't put this on the wrong side, because I would have been so heartbroken. So if I do happen to finish it tomorrow, then I have another fabric that I think I'm going to use for my actual dress. But if time allows, but I'm very excited. Again, what I like about, doing this is that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm doing something that I haven't done before. I also have a plan C. So a plan C is, and to me, like, because of my crazy schedule, I feel like I have to have a plan C is, if I don't finish this or it doesn't turn out to my liking, what else am I going to wear to Frocktails that's going to be equally amazing? And so that I can sew in one day. Plan C, and it'll be a surprise. Hopefully I don't have to execute plan C, but if I do, then I'm okay with that too, because I will, I didn't play it safe. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I'm trying something different. But yeah, got a plan C. All right, so I have clipped the sides from top to bottom, and now I'm just gonna look at my garment and make sure that, look at that. I mean, I don't know how it comes across on camera, but this is just so nice. It's just so beautiful. Ooh. So the challenge that I am literally having right this second is, oh, here it is. Okay, I was like, I can't see but I can. So I can see it better from this side. Okay, here we go. And the good news is that it is lining up. Okay, so I can see that one very well. And your stitch lines, I mean, you probably realize this, but they are not a straight line down.
Yes, they are not.
It's like a little bit of a slanted line. Okay, so I can see this really well on this end. And then I'm just making sure that I can actually see my stitch lines. And this one, not see. Let me see, do I see it better from this side? Yep, okay. So for whatever reason, I can see them better on one side versus the other. Okay, here it is. So I think what I'm gonna do is, and I think probably what happened is, in fact, I know what happened, is I put it on the inside. I drew my stitch lines on the wrong side of the fabric. And this fabric is tricky.
I used tracing paper for the first time, and so
Oh yeah, I love tracing paper.
Say again?
I said I love using tracing paper. I've been using this chalk, and I really like it. I mean, it's not tracing paper, but it's, you know, it's still like chalk.
Is that the little one that rolls out?
This is just like one of the little triangles. I do have the one that rolls out too. But what I like about this is it's so much easier to do a straight line.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But again, the challenge that I'm having right now is that I did it on the wrong side of the fabric. And because this fabric is tricky, it's harder to see it. So I'm just retracing over it where I see I can see it. Okay. As much as this fabric is see-through, it is a little hard to see your stitch lines. Okay, I think I'm just going to retrace this line here with my chalk. Again, not thinking about the fact that we were going to do this stitch on the right side of the fabric, I transferred the markings onto the wrong side.
I'm glad you just said that out loud, because here I was about to sew both sides on the wrong side.
Oh yeah, you got to do, so this stitch, so for those that are sewing along, when we are stitching our stitch lines, you are turning your fabric right side facing out.
Well, guess who's about to seam rip? Ah!
You stitched one line in?
Say it again?
You stitched one line in, one side?
Right. Mm-hmm. When I was doing things too, I was thinking, where should I be putting this marking? Because I obviously put all my markings on the wrong side.
Right, exactly. That's why I just realized, like, okay. So again, for the record, if you are doing this, when we're stitching our stitch lines in, which again are the lines that are going to go straight down, that are going to create our, our section for our arms, separating the body part from the arm part, you need to do it on the right side. You need to draw those lines on the right side, and you need to sew it together. You need to make that stitch line on the right side of the fabric. So turn your fabric right side facing out. Mine looks a little weird because my facing is sticking on the wrong, I didn't turn it in. I need to. I'm just going to clip it just because it's easier. Because I'm going to do, okay, so Natalie says, okay, so we are sewing on the right side. So I did write and mark the right side. Yay. Go ahead, Natalie.
Whoa.
Kudos to you. You absolutely did right. It's an easy mistake to make because, again, we always do markings on the wrong side. That's why I was sitting here retracing mine, realizing I can't see. You said I did the same thing. Yeah, it is so easy to, it's easy to put it on the wrong side and also stitch it on the wrong side, because 90% of the time that is what we do. But in this particular case, we are actually doing knit stitch on the right side of the fabric. So again, once you do that, once you make sure that your fabric is right side facing out, you also want to make sure that you clip your sides so that your fabric, so when you put that stitch in, it's all straight. It's not lopsided. It's all, your seams are all lined up. And it can be hard to do when you have a piece of fabric that is this flimsy, thin, and long. It's a huge piece of fabric. So it can be very hard to do. In fact, I think what I am going to do to just make sure is I'm going to put some, even though I clipped my sides, I'm also going to just put some pins in just to make sure it doesn't, as I'm moving it, it does not, it doesn't start slipping around, because it is very slippery. So I'm just going to take some pins and just, I don't know if this is going to work, but this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do to just help make sure it stays straight. And I didn't have to do this with my knit, so you may not have to do this. My knit and my rayon fabric stayed together pretty, I didn't have a problem. But this mesh is much more slippery. So I'm just taking some pins and I'm sticking it in. Okay.
Am I like seeing it?
All right, so I'm just going to show you what I did.
I'm not clipping any sides. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's see. Clip what side? Oh, so when I say clip, I'm sorry. I'm using an actual clip. So pin or clip your sides together. That's what I'm not, clip is in cut, but clip is in fasten them together so that when you are sewing it, everything is lined up. In other words, so let me just show you. So like when I say clip the sides, I meant fasten them together so you could pin or clip them. Okay, you got it. Okay. So for those that might be listening or following or after the fact, when I say clip, I mean, in this particular case, I mean using an actual clip to fasten it together so that it is, when you put that stitch down the middle, it does stay and you don't have it like lopsided. And then also what I did in addition to that, because I'm using mesh, is you might be able to see it, but I put some pins in as well, just to also prevent it from sliding and moving around. So I am going to do a stitch line. And wish me luck that I don't have any problems. Okay, so here we go. I'm very nervous about this with this fabric. Okay, here we go. Make sure you do a little bit of a back stitch as well when you're if your machine doesn't automatically do it at the beginning and the end. I am also stitching this very slow just to make sure it doesn't gather as I'm stitching it. I will tell you, and I shared this with Danesha as well, when I did my knit, I literally had to stitch 4 separate rows because my fabric was so stretchy that it wasn't giving me the snug look that I really wanted with my caftan. I did not have to do that when I did my woven, and I don't think I'm going to have to do that with this mesh. It's stretchy, but it's a two-way stretch, so it's not as stretchy as with the knit. So we are, at this point in time, we are doing our stitch lines, which create our armholes. And for those that might just be joining, we are doing Simplicity 56, let me see, 5628 is what we are doing. And we are also going to be doing a hat to this as well.
I got one side ready, and I'm just doing the other side now. So I retrace my marking and stitch this other side.
Oh, that was fast. So you took the seam out already and stitched it again?
Yeah, I pretty much, because of having to take it out, I already saw where the line was supposed to be.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that made it easy. Okay, great.
But
Easier, I should say.
Trace this side.
All right, one side is done. One side is done, and I'm going to now do the other side. And the only thing, again, I already have my marking, I already have my clips in. I'm just going to take some of these pins and put them in so that I can make sure that I'm not going to have any movement of the fabric as I'm sewing. Okay. Oh, you know what? I got to turn it over. Here we go. And I used about 4 to 5 pins to pin this to ensure it doesn't move and that it's lined up. Definitely feel like it helped keep the fabric straight. All right, so I've done that, got my little pins in, and now I am stitching my second stitch line. And I'm just taking my time stitching the stitch line so I don't get that gathering effect that can happen. Ooh. And I think that at that point, you kind of try it on a little bit, make sure it fits to your liking. And the when we go to the next step, which is to do our hat, which is the ruffles. Did I get that right, Danesha?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I'm excited. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Natalie, are you adding the ruffles too? For those that have done this pattern before, definitely take a look at this process of adding the ruffles, because you can go back and add ruffles to, if you've done it before, if you made this pattern before and you're like, I love it, I love my fabric, but I want to add a little, spice it up a little bit.
Yes.
Ruffles.
All right.
All right, almost finished. Let's see. So this dress that I actually have on now is, I don't know if you all know, but like at Joann's, they sell this fabric by the yard, and all you gotta do is just like serge down one side and it makes like a dress. So this is what I wore to get off the plane, literally, because I flew back today. But it's such an easy dress, like, to make.
I love that. I actually bought it in green to make for a vacation, but then when I got home, there was like spots on the fabric. I was really sad. But I need to go back and get more because it is such an easy dress. But
yeah, I bought it in 2 different fabrics and made 2 different dresses with it.
I still have the off-white that I haven't used, but it's kind of sheer, the one I have.
Really?
Yeah. Is yours knit, or is that the...
It's knit. It's not sheer at all. Yeah, because this is white that I have on now, and you can't see through it.
The fabric I have is woven, and it's kind of see-through, but...
Oh, it's woven. Oh, so yeah, this is definitely knit. This is knit.
Okay, I gotta get that one.
It's knit all the way from top. Well, yeah. Let me see. Well, you know what? It actually doesn't have any stretch to it. I think I got fooled because this top part is so stretchy, but the bottom part is not stretchy at all. So, but it's not see-through.
I need to double back.
But I really like it. I was thinking about doing something like adding, making, like, cutting the back and making the back like open, and doing like a corset style on the back. I was thinking about doing that.
It's sheared on the top, right?
Huh?
It's sheared all the way around the top, right?
It is. It is. So I was thinking about like cutting it, putting some bias tape, and then adding like some little hole, just to give it like a little, like you said, like a little hack. We always like hacking something, right? Okay.
It's on it. I thought I was actually gonna make it into a tier dress, so like cut it short and then use make tiers. But yeah,
that's a great idea.
It didn't happen, but
a little challenge to say all the things you could do to like take this and make it differently. Okay. I think I'm ready for the next part.
Let's do it. Let's off.
Okay. Natalie said she didn't finish the gather, so she may add them later.
Good.
Which you could totally do. You can totally do it later.
All right. So I'm just going to grab one long strips. You have it's pretty much 6 yards long. And I have my gathering like yarn or thread still intact. And what I like to do is, since it's 3 strips, I just find the middle of the middle piece, or pretty much the middle of the entire thing. So I find where I attached, I mark the middle out. You can make it a clip, a marking, whatever. I'm just going to mark it with my marking tool. And I take the middle and attach it to the top, shoulder seam. I attach it to the shoulder seam so that I have an even amount on both sides.
Okay, so let me Okay. So,
and I'm just gonna pin it at the shoulder seam.
and is it is it like raw edges?
Uh-huh.
The raw edges are lined up, and
you are working on, basically, since it's not right sides together, you are working with the right side of your cap with your ruffle.
Okay. All right. So let me take my.
To be seeing.
Okay. So now I gotta find my little mark that I just did. Lord, I lost my mark. I should have put a little clip.
Yeah.
Is this it? Okay, here we go. So I am taking that.
I'm just gonna fix my camera again real quick.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I did that. Flipped again. All right, so I am clipping that. And then I am just clipping them all the way around. And so since mine is already like a little bit gathered, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. So for those, if you don't have a gathering, now's the time we're going to start gathering to the gods, because it's a lot of gathering. And you want to kind of, I'm going to move my sewing machine for this. Oops. Okay, don't break it. All right. So it's easier if you just kind of lay out the edge and you want to gather it down until it's about the same length of your kaftan on one side.
Okay.
So just gather.
So I'm clipping mine on, and then I'm going to, and I guess what I should really do is just, because at this point, really, it basically should cover from one side to the other, the entire side, and then what, the middle, bottom to the middle of the bottom too?
Hold on, I didn't understand. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So so when we think about like how the caftan is, right? It is going around your arm and down on both sides, but it's also going across the bottom.
No, so yeah, this is to do the whole open side.
The whole open side. But what about the bottom?
Like the bottom hem?
Yes.
No.
It's not doing that. Okay.
A piece and add a ruffle. I didn't do a ruffle on the hem.
Okay. Nope. I mean, I followed what you said. So if we
okay.
didn't,
yeah, just around the sides.
Just around the sides. Okay, got it. That's good to know, because I would have been like trying to stretch it out. Like, okay.
Ooh, lots and lots of gathering.
So I'm going to see how much I need to like manipulate it once I have attached it.
Yes.
Because it's, for whatever reason, it already it decided it liked to gather, and it's been doing it on its own. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to let it stay and then just work from there rather than trying to make it straight. I just left my little tails, and I thought I'll just fix it, as we go.
Mm-hmm. I just like to take my time because I'm one row of gather stitch type gal, especially for this fabric because it's so lightweight. I didn't feel the need to do 2 rows, but take with it.
Yeah, I only did 1 row as well because I was like, it was already gathering just with that row. So I was like, well,
No need.
I was like, oops. And it's so crazy. Like it literally fit all the way down. Just one side. I think. Oh no, it didn't. Look at that. I got extra. I've got extra. So when you, oh, let me see. Okay, see. So that's the other thing. Make sure, because I just happened to me. So just sharing my experience that your ruffle doesn't get twisted as you're doing it, because that just happened to me.
Oh yes.
It twisted around in a circle.
Mine's is kind of twisty, but once we go to attach, you'll kind of find the edge to pin it on. But yes, it will depend. Especially we have lighter weight fabric, so it's when I use the other fabric, it doesn't really twist. It just kind of.
All right. Okay, so that's that.
Ooh-wee.
So I could see like doing this piece how it can take time.
Yes.
Really get it all on there. But I'm excited. Like this is gonna be so nice.
It's so worth it.
I just in this is like I love this. I feel like the video just doesn't do it any justice, honestly. The camera. It could just be me, but and I'm not even like a green person, honestly. I'm not like a person that like overly loves green. I just think it's like so nice.
I love green. It's my favorite color. So I
Is it? Is it? Yeah, I'm like, I love this. This is so much so like I'm literally gonna make something else with it.
Yay. Yeah, I went earth. I love earthy tones, so that's
me too. That's me. I love too. I do too.
I was like, ooh, this organza is like green and brown at the same time, or gold, I guess, brownish gold green. Perfect.
Okay. You know what? So this is where I really like to use my dress form. Oh, let's see.
Not a bad idea at all. All right, I'm getting there. Move my gathers up.
All right, hopefully I didn't mess up my. But I am going to put this on my dress form because I feel like that is going to help me put this on. Do this right.
Thank you, Natalie. The organza, I'm telling you, I was like, it takes a little extra because it's lighter weight, but it's about to be a movie. And getting there. So the ruffles are ruffling. Just keep going. Do a quick measure to see. So here's the bottom of where I'm going. Here's the top. You can see this is still a little too long.
Okay, here we go. So I feel like okay. doing it this way, putting it on my dress form is definitely helping me not get confused.
Good. So once I have it about the length that it needs to be, or a little less, I just take a clip and clip the bottom for evenness. Yeah. So here we go from the midpoint to the end. About that same length. Gonna pin it together. I will say lighter weight fabric is easy to get twisted up, but
Yes, it definitely is, because mine already I had to untwist it for a second time.
I'm about to have a lot of untwisting right now.
Yeah, like let me put this on the dress form. That's going to save me some energy. But at least we're catching it before we've sewn it. We've started sewing, because that would be
not fun.
Right, not fun. And so I could see why this part takes a little bit of time, because again, you got to be adjusting your ruffles.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm literally about to start moving this up. Okay, here we go. Now where is my end? Here we go. Now the other thing I got to remember is which string I can pull. Shoot.
Oh, yes.
Okay, here we go. I got the right one, I think. Especially because in this case, both sides are the right side. So it's the bobbin string, right? I think it's the one you can pull.
You can pull whichever. You can pull either one. You just want to keep pulling the same one.
Well, one of them I thought like locks it. Hey, Sabrina.
Oh no, I don't know. I always just choose one and then stick to
And you pull, and you've never had any problem with it.
Nope. I could be wrong, but I mean that's the way I've always gathered. I just pick one and I go with it.
Okay, let's see. Yep, it's twisted again. No.
This fabric is much more difficult, lightweight fabrics.
Yeah, so big takeaway is just be aware that it does twist easily, and sometimes it's hard to tell that it's actually twisted.
You can literally already tell that's going to be.
too. Woo! Okay.
Did you make it?
Yeah, no, I'm doing it. I'm just making sure, like, just the readjustment of it, like, again, making sure that it is fully, like,
Great.
yeah, that it's straight and that my gathers are evenly
Based, yeah.
right. That's right. So that's the part. That's what I'm doing right now, literally.
Same.
And which one is my center piece? Oh, right here. Okay. All right, there we go. Bobbin thread. Okay, Monica said it is the bobbin thread. Yeah, that you have to pull. Yeah, because one of them, well, the needle thread, if you pull it, it locks the stitch. That is, I learned that the hard way, but then I could never remember which one. So the bobbin thread is the one that you can pull, and it should give you like that unlimited like pull without locking the stitches.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just start pulling and it just always works, but
Thank you, Monica.
yeah.
Okay, so getting this together. Making sure it's not twisted. Okay, there we go. And now I am. Okay, here we go. The one good thing is by having one, it is the ruffles are, ruffling really easily. So as I'm needing to adjust it and move them around, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, they're moving like easily. It's not,
Yeah, same. Take some patience for sure, but
yeah. When you were saying that, I was like, what is she talking about? It's not going to be that, but it's really just about taking the time and just like making sure everything is evenly spaced. Not that it's hard, it's just tedious to do that part. But it's going to be well worth it in the end. I think we already saw that by seeing what you did. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a perfect bathing suit cover up.
Yay.
I need to go get some more clips.
How far have you gotten? Are you on?
I'm not on my second one. I'm
You
still on my first one.
Okay, same. I mean, I'm still in the first half of the first.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly
Okay.
right. That's where I'm at. I feel like I am close to finishing the first half,
Same.
but of the first one. And I'm about to go pull out another thing of clips. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So that very thing that I told you that like how it locks it up, I just did that on mine.
Oh no.
Yeah, so all I'm doing is basically taking my seam ripper and just taking it out a little bit. The other way you could get around is just do another quick row. But I just took my seam ripper and basically seam rip a little piece, and then I'm just pulling it now.
Okay.
But I accidentally pulled the wrong side of it. And it locked it up. And just all right. Is that? Oops, wrong way. Okay. I think we just push this down a little bit more. Okay, I feel like I have officially finished one half of one. Now I just have to clips. Oh, here's another one. Because it takes a lot of clips.
A lot. I pretty much all my clips were one side.
Oh, so you sew one side and then you go and do the other side? Is that
That's
how you
made it? Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad strategy.
It also just gave me the push to keep going because it's a lot of gas.
Right.
Once you see one side, it's like, oh, okay.
Fudge. I keep breaking my little clips because I've been using them forever and ever.
I have ones and they kept breaking. But
I know it's time for me to pull out another box because I have more broken ones than I have whole ones in this container. But I'm just looking to see like how many did I drop on the floor. Oh, here's like 5 more. Okay. Thank y'all for hanging in there. We are going to be, I mean, we're at the home stretch. Let me say that. This is the home stretch.
this is.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to take your advice, which is to stitch up one side and then move to the other side. I have officially, so I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, let's see. Oh, good. Y'all are still there. I think. Are you still on? Yes. Okay. So
After I did the entire side, but also you could do that like half and half of one side.
you see, Auntie Carol said your caftan was gorgeous, but you got body outy and it was showing through the caftan, giving all the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this side. I'm gonna do the one side.
Yeah.
Then I feel like I actually might be able to do.
Pin up the other side.
I think so because, well, let's see. Let me see. I don't know. Because guess what? I got a little gap right here. It's a teeny one, but it's enough that. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I am not going to do it. I'm just going to stitch this one side up and then I'm going to come back. So when we're stitching this, we are doing it at 5/8?
I did it closer to the edge.
Okay.
I just kind of winged it. I didn't. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's fine.
I did like half an inch seam allowance.
Half an inch, okay. So I'm going to stitch this on at a half an inch seam allowance. So let me move. Okay, here we go. And let me find my shoulder seam. That's going to be my starting point. Okay, here we go. All right, people, we are sewing on the first side of the ruffle. Pray for me.
You got about to join you. All right.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, let me. I gotta I can't do that slow. But I think it'll be okay that it's not slow because it's all ruffles at this point. Yes, this is going to be so cute. So excited about it.
Yay.
Natalie, are you going to post your final caftan on your YouTube or your any other social media? And what fabric did you use? What kind of fabric did you use? The key is to make sure that nothing gets, that all the raw edges stay lined up.
Yes.
So I'm just going slow for that reason. Are you serging yours or are you stitching?
I'm stitching.
Okay. I am too. I'm just was asking.
Yes.
Okay, so Natalie said I used Ankara and wanted to do tulle ruffles, but I didn't put my gathering stitches in. Okay, got you.
Ooh.
I can't wait to see it. So you said you're gonna post it on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle? Are we following each other? You may not know. I don't know. But I will follow you when you say if I'm not already, because I cannot wait to see what you did. Well, the good news about doing the ruffles after seeing this is that you definitely will kind of walk away with like some tips, like what you have to do. And also have like, realistic expectations around the time too. I think Danesha tried to warn us about the ruffles, about the time. I underestimated for sure. I was like, what is she talking about?
I promise it's worth it, but whoo.
Right. It's worth it. I do agree. I still feel that way. I'm like, okay, it just takes a little time. The easy part was actually putting the basting stitches in. I was like, okay, this is quick. I'm done. I am done. Okay. I mean, not done. I'm saying I was done putting my basting stitch in. Not my ruffle. I am still working on my ruffle. My first half of the front. Again, it takes a little bit of time because you definitely want to make sure that your raw edges are lined up, because they can also like flip in, and you just don't want that. You don't want it to be like all bulky and gathered under there. So it's best to just take your time. And I know for me, because I'm a kind of person that will take it all out.
Yeah.
And be up all night doing it again. So I'm like, better just go slow and steady, wins the race. I'm like, so how is this fabric working for you, Danesha, in terms of putting the ruffles in? Is it about the same experience with the when you did it the first time?
No, it's easier.
You said it's easier?
It's easier with the heavier weight fabric.
Oh, okay.
This to kind of move the gathers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I definitely agree that this like lighter weight fabric, it does more twisting, and so you just have to be like, just again, it's just really a matter of just taking your time. That's really what it boils down to.
Right.
That's really what it boils down to, is just taking your time.
Okay, Natalie said she's trying to get her bodice a little more fitted. Playing with those lines.
Oh yeah, playing with those lines. Yep. I know that I did definitely had to do that the first time. When I made this. Okay.
All right, halfway mark.
Yep, halfway. Okay.
I'm gonna show you guys just what it will. Hold on, let me close my machine again since it's time to gather again.
There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so now I am about to put it back.
Ooh. This is what mine's is looking. Well, where's the neck hole?
Oh, look at that. I could see already. I could tell. It's beautiful.
And I'll give it a good press to press this out, but yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Neck. Okay, here we go. Take my little arms, my shoulders. Okay.
All right.
Bringing it back. So look, you can see this is the front side is on. And now I'm going to work on from the shoulder seam to the back.
Here we go.
Okay, shoulder seam to the back. Okay, so here we go. And I am literally just adjusting these ruffles up. Oh, you know what? I did. Now I remember. I actually did do a flat fell seam on this. I did it on this ruffle. When I was connecting this ruffle, I didn't even realize I had did it. When I was connecting the pieces, I did it.
Oh, wow.
And it's so smooth, you can't even really tell. Look at that. You can't even tell.
Love it.
Oh, that is so, looks so good. Yes. Yeah, I feel like once you get one half done, it gets a little easier to do the other half. Thank you, Meb. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. You're getting there, LaShawn.
We are getting there. Y'all are hanging in there, and we cannot wait to show you like the final look.
Said looks like LaDonna Cockley on Instagram. LaShawn, you were busy making all the things. I love it.
Thank you. Let me tell you, like, if I didn't have to travel so much for work, I would definitely be cranking out a little bit more. But this is like my busy travel time, so it's balancing. But when I get in, I go right to work. I already have like my whole agenda mapped out. Like, here's what I'm doing.
Let me tell you how I just pulled on the wrong string after you said.
First time for everything, right?
Thankfully, it was only I split up my gather stitches, so it's not the whole thing, but
yeah. Well, you could just use your seam ripper, pull open the one on the right side and just pull it. And
no, my whole thing came out.
Oh, the whole thing. Oh.
But it's just one of the pieces because I separated my gathers by piece.
Oh, okay.
But I can put a gather stitch on the end.
Yeah, so it's so funny you said that. I normally recommend that, when you have a long gathering piece that you don't do one basting stitch, but I actually did do that this time.
Yeah,
I normally don't.
But
I normally use my gathering foot, but
yeah, I like to break it up just because I feel like it's easier to quickly gather.
Yeah, nope, I feel you.
I need to go back and put that gathering stitch back in there. Quick stitch.
Okay, so let's see. So I am literally just about to pull this string. Nope, not that one. There we go. There we go. So I'm pulling my string and
Ooh, no fun.
Yep, I know that noise. I know that sound. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let me put that right there. Are you putting on your stitching your second half on already? Oh no, you were putting your extra basting stitch back in. Okay.
I wish.
Mhm. All right. I feel like I'm almost there. All right. I think I'm there. I think I'm there, y'all.
Did you pin it on?
Yep. Well, so you know what? When I started on this side, like most of it was already kind of together. So I literally just had to pull the string, make the gather a little bit smaller because it's. I think I did mine a little bit longer, honestly, than what you said. So in fact, I not think I know I did because what happened is I just had a probably like 6 inches left at the end, and I just kept it on.
Okay.
And so I was like, well,
Am I
I'm not
doing
going to cut it off. I just will gather it more. You know, again, not real thinking that, oh, I don't know what Danesha's talking about. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Well, I learned. I learned. Okay. I think we are good to go. Okay, I'm good to go. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm literally going to try to stitch this without taking it off my dress form. So let me turn you guys this way. And I don't know how much this will work, but we will see. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. I was like, where's my fabric? Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh, I did the same thing again. Okay.
Yeah, like I can't even imagine my thing being twisted. I will have a heart attack if I have to take this out. Because why? I know I will take it out and start all over.
One again. I'm just gonna switch to the other side before I get frustrated.
Okay, we are literally sewing on our ruffle, which is the hack to Simplicity 5628 caftan. And it is definitely giving it a complete facelift. If I could say so myself, having made this twice before. So this was like a great hack.
Okay, so it's don't pull the thing.
So the bobbin thread is the one that you would pull. And so I remember, now you said that, I remember Auntie Carol kind of like giving us a tip that when you're doing this, to use a different thread so you know which one is bobbin thread. That's the challenge when you use the same thread for the top and the bottom. So again, for those that do it, or Natalie, when you do it, when you're putting your basting stitches in, use a different color thread for your bobbin so you'll know when you're going to create your gathers which one you can pull. That was a great tip.
I don't know which is which, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah. You know what? When you pull, the one that doesn't move is the one
moving, which is the issue.
Oh, they're both moving.
I'm gonna put a knot at the other end so it doesn't. Neither of them will move.
Neither one, right?
Spring.
All right, I'm gonna have to take this off of my dress form to finish this. It's so much easier to sew when it's on the dress form, believe it or not, because everything stays like lined up.
Mm.
But I have this one little part. Okay.
I'll be right back. I need to run to the restroom.
Okay. All right, I am almost finished sewing this first ruffle on. I'm literally almost there. I kind of have mine hanging onto my dress form because it is easier to sew it, these ruffles on, when it's like, when the fabric is not all gathered at the, I mean all like bunched up. I shouldn't say gathered because I don't mean that. I mean bunched up. Again, the key tips are making sure that your raw edges are lined and the fabric is not like bunched up as you're sewing your gathers, your gather onto your fabric. And I think this is my last one. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I am going to be finished. Okay, there we go. Here we go. All right, one side down. Let me just put it back on this dress form so you can see. And I'm just so you can get a really good look for how it will look. I'm just so I still have to, just for a reminder, I still have to figure out what I'm doing for my facing piece. So that's what you see all kind of bunched up under there. I did not do the finishing that was recommended because of my fabric being see-through. I don't want it to look crazy up there. So I'm going to figure out something different. But for the sleeve, if you're able to see, the gather is on and it really looks so good. The camera does not do any justice. Let me see if I can scoot it back a little bit so you can kind of get a feel, for it. Here is the stitch. You can see it when I hold it out a little bit. So here's my stitch. And again, I'm doing a bathing suit cover, which is why this is see-through, but it looks really, really good from top to bottom. My gathers are in. So I'm going to do the other side right here. So here's the gathered side and here's the ungathered side. So I have my other gather right here. And
it's looking so good.
I know, right? Isn't it? Like that's the one side done. Okay, so now here's the other side. And I am literally finding the center. Finding the center. Oh, here it is. Okay, once I find it, I am going to chalk it, but also put a clip in. Or actually use this blue. And then I am lining this piece up with my shoulder seam. Lining the raw edges. With the shoulder seam. Okay, here we go. And then I'm clipping it on. And we're literally repeating the exact same thing we just did.
Yes.
So the key is really to find that center, clip it on. Attach it find the center of your ruffle, attach it to your center, to your shoulder seam, and then start adjusting your ruffles from there. And then also, again, make sure your fabric does not twist as you're putting it on. So those are the things that making sure your fabric doesn't twist and adjusting the ruffles are what really takes the longest time. It does, right, Natalie? Like, Meb, the ruffles are just like, it's the best part to me. Like, that's why when I saw it, I was like, we're doing that. We are doing that.
Yes.
I was like, that is so nice. It's super cute. It just takes it to a whole new level, right?
Honestly.
I'm like, and to your point, like, Danesha, you definitely did a good job in terms of like estimating how much fabric to use because, Natalie said it, but it's so true. Meb said it, and the ruffles are just like so super full.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just like, I was over here just doing a bunch of math when I made the first one, like, what would and yes, it came out perfect. I was like, okay, let me write that down because I know I'm gonna make more.
Right. Yep, that was perfect.
Because for the orange one, I used whatever I had left over because I didn't have a whole lot of the fabric, and I was like, oh well.
It worked out. It worked out.
I am again with this.
I cannot wait to wear this tomorrow. Like, I don't even know if I'm want to go swimming. I just might want to just.
Yeah. Sit around caftan.
Right, exactly. Like, this looks better than my bathing suit. At this point, I'm like, this is the highlight, not the bathing suit, but the caftan.
Yes.
I could have definitely used this when I was in uh, the Maldives earlier this year. Like, this would have been everything because it was so hot there, so humid.
Oh wow.
I am making great progress. All right, let's see. What do we got here? We got this. We have this piece.
Okay. Let me see.
And I need to pull my string.
Hmm.
All right, just creating a little bit more ruffles in the end. I think we might be good. So, Denisha, are you going to any more frock tails between now and the end of the year?
I would like to go to New York.
New York, okay.
Yeah. How about you? Well, I know you have.
Well, yeah, I'm doing Baltimore. Right now, that's the only one that I am doing between now and the end of the year. But I mean, anything can change, but that is the only one that I'm definitely like, okay, that's the one I'm doing.
Okay. Is that the first time?
This is the first time, yes. This is the first frock tails that Baltimore is having. So it will be my, put it like this, I did DC,
Uh-huh.
Chicago, and Baltimore. So this will be my third one for the year.
Oh, okay. I did only Atlanta this year.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to be done for this year, and then we'll see what happens next year. Okay, so look at that. I got this on.
Okay. I'm running into some technical difficulties, but I'm gonna just do as much as I can while we're still here.
Yeah, no, it's
It-
fine. So
I,
is it what's happening? Just because other people might experience it too.
yes, I was just gonna say. So, because I serged my edges as well, it looks like I caught some of my gather stitches in the serging because I serged after I gathered.
Got it. Okay.
And that has to be what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely could happen, especially if you did your gathers very close to the edge.
Yeah, well, see, I did my serging too close to the gathering because I did the cut. I had my blade on and cut it down.
Okay.
But I could have done without that, but it's all good.
Yeah. No, look, it's a lesson. So look, I always like to, when things happen like that, sharing it so somebody else, doesn't make the same thing, doesn't do the same thing. It's so easy, especially when you're doing something that's like hacking. It's so easy to kind of like do it and then realize like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it truly is like a learning experience when you're hacking something. Because just because you didn't encounter it the first time doesn't, you know what I mean? Like you can encounter it different the second time you do it or the third time.
And yeah, last time I serged before I put the gathering stitches in.
Right. So that's a great, tip for others that might be thinking about like, oh, I'm going to do it. You wouldn't know unless you ran into it. So. I am definitely having a much easier time sewing this on when it's on my dress form.
Oh,
yeah, just because it's like not all clumped up, right? Not gather. I mean, all like I don't want to say gather. Yeah, it's so much easier because it's just the two layers, and it's so clear that okay.
Smart.
All right, now I have to just take this. Okay, here we go. And let's see. Anybody that is seeing this, or is this something that you would sew after kind of seeing what we're doing in the process and how it looks? Even though you didn't get to see, well, you could see the final because Danesha's already done it once. But Danesha, were you able to do your adjust your fit around the waist and arm?
For the orange one?
Not Danesha, I'm sorry, Natalie. I meant to say, yeah, because she was saying that she was working on her fit. I meant to say Natalie, sorry. Okay, you say she says she's still working on the fit. Yeah, I usually like at the point, when we finish, I see I try it on. So I'm hoping that I'm not gonna have any problems with my fit because I did sew the small. I did sew the small,
Maybe
but
you could
let's see.
put it on your body and then do a rough chalk marking.
Yeah, that would be another good way to do it. That way you don't have to do all of those adjustments. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah. Okay, my camera flipped again. Let me fix that.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Either.
It's giving us a hard time today.
Right.
All right. 1/2 more to go.
Woo, woo.
Okay.
Yeah, let me fix it real quick.
So the only thing I'll need to do is figure out what am I exactly going to do with the neck facing, because I definitely am not like loving the way it shows through. I almost like wish I.
Oh man, if you did just a narrow hem on it or
Yep,
something.
that is. Yep, because I mean.
Yeah.
I can tell you, like Apple products, they do not like you to use other non-Apple chargers.
At all.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, because I'm not loving, I feel like no matter what I do outside of a narrow hem, it's going to not be flattering.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm loving this like a lot, and I just don't want it, I don't want it to be like.
The reason.
Yeah, the reason that I'm like, it's okay, that part. Okay, so like the back, this is on backwards, but this is the front part is done, and I'm literally going to finish clipping this last section.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It is coming together. For sure, it is definitely coming together. Okay, so Natalie was asking about your tip for the fit adjustment.
Oh, let me go back. Okay, I was saying that I would just put the dress on and then kind of pinch how you want it to fit and use like your chalk to kind of do a rough marking. And then you can even go back to the paper pattern and try to like get the same line shape. But that way you kind of know where you want the line to be. Of course, there has to be some ease because you have to slide it on. So keeping that in mind to make sure that it can fit over, the widest part of your body. But I think that might be helpful to kind of mark it on you.
When I try this on, if it doesn't work, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that way you don't sew a bunch of time, especially, the fabric not be very forgiving, bunch of holes.
Right.
And I don't want to do all that seam ribbon, but.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take that approach. That's a great idea. Look at this. It's just, I just love this fabric. I just love it. It's just so beautiful. And the fact that it's not, it doesn't fray. It's got a little stretch to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely make like a summer dress with this, with the lining.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that when I like something, I'm gonna wear it in the hole. Like I will wear my stuff like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Come home, put it in the wash machine, and wear it again, and wear it again, and wear it again.
Yes. That's how I approach sewing. I'm like, I need it to be like, this is like a specialty thing, but it's just so good that I'm not gonna not make more. But just everyday things, like I'm gonna wear this. I don't care if it's to the grocery store. Like,
right, exactly. That's why I'm like, 7757. Like I literally, it's like, oh, I'm going somewhere tomorrow. Let me go make it one real quick.
Oh my gosh, when I first started sewing, a couple years into sewing, when that pattern came out, I have made that so many ways. That and I can't remember the number anymore, but it's an off the shoulder elastic band dress that comes in so many.
Find that. Is that on your page? I'm gonna go look because I love it off the shoulder.
I'm gonna have to repost it on my thing. I made it a bunch like back in 2017. I think I made it where I did a fully lined version of it, like all kinds of things. I was just so obsessed with it.
Yeah, I love a off the shoulder.
It is. I actually own that pattern. I probably have about 4 uncut copies of that pattern. So I'll show it. I'll send you a picture of it. But
yes, definitely, because
on print, but I got some.
All right, we're down to this last little piece, clipping on this last piece. Yeah, I feel like it's going, once you get that first part, if you don't run into anything, it goes a little quicker.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, there it goes again, trying me.
Thank y'all for hanging in there. All right, let me use my seam ripper. All right. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay.
I'm gonna try to. Lee's gonna have something to show. I might not finish the whole thing on both sides because I gotta go back, but see, where is it?
All right. I feel like okay. So I have officially.
You're done?
Well, I'm done clipping the second half of the second ruffle on, and I'm about to go to the sewing machine.
Woo-hoo.
I know, like this is an exciting moment right now. And then I am going to try it on. I think I'm going to put on so I'm just going to put on like a t-shirt and a black t-shirt and a black leggings, and then you'll be able to see, because that's the other part about this. Like, even though it's a bathing suit cover up, you could technically wear it.
Yes.
With like a bodysuit or something like that underneath. So that's where good, styling comes in. You start exploring other options. All right, here we go. Here we go. And again, I'm just reiterating that about the importance of making sure that your raw edges are lined up. That'll help make sure that you don't have any holes like as you're sewing your ruffles on.
Oh yeah.
We're down to the wire. See, I almost got a little part where my ruffle got stuck under there. It did.
Uh-oh.
Yep, here we go. So I'm about to use my seam ripper. So this is that very thing that I told you about, making sure your raw edges are lined up and it's not bunched, because that exactly just happened to me. It was I almost thought like, oh, I made it through this whole thing without
Getting that seam ripper out.
Yep, and here we go. It's a small little part, but I'm glad I caught it. Fix it. The anxiety of like being anxious to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what's the easiest way to take this thread out without messing up my fabric. All right, there we go. The good news is that it doesn't take much. You only have to really seam rip like 1 or 2 threads, and then the rest just kind of comes out.
Good.
At least with this fabric, that's the way it's kind of working out. So just taking this other little section out where I see without putting a hole in my fabric. Got one more little part to take out. go. All right, there we go. I think I got it all out. One more little piece. All right, I think I'm good to go now.
So the
Is that? All right, here we go. Back to the drawing board. All right, last little part. Try to do as much as I can before I have to take it off the dress form.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much easier. To sew this fabric on the dress form.
There's one more step. Once your ruffles are on, it's just the arm to really create the armhole. There was a dot on the pattern that was meant to transfer. I have.
So what did you say to do what?
On the pattern piece, there was a dot. It's kind of hard to see. There's a dot where you would just do a tack. So I just did like 3-4 stitches and then back stitched on the beginning and the end. And it just kind of creates that like, almost like faux armhole.
Oh, you mean where the end of the stitch line?
No, here, let me see if I can wheel this orange one in. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I did that. And I don't remember. I may not have done it on.
So on my orange one, let me put the arm off real quick. Right here is where the dot marking is. So I just together and sewed literally 3 stitches, and it just creates a fake armhole.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So it's still open in between the stitch line and that tacked part.
Right. So after
But
that
it's just
open.
okay. Yeah, no, I think I did not do that with my other ones, but I will do that for this. So thanks for that. Like,
you're welcome.
Yeah, I think it will help to, like you said, create that official like sleeve. It's like creating a sleeve. It's making a sleeve as opposed to just having it all draped down.
Yes, and the pattern, it's like the last step, like the finishing steps.
right, it's getting to the point where I've got to take it off the dress form. I think if I ever were to do this again, I might try to do the ruffles at the bottom too.
I actually, when you asked that, I was like, oh, I might actually add that because I do have more of this fabric.
Not doing it does.
But
I don't know why I thought I saw that on your original one.
no, I didn't. But I love that idea. Literally, yeah, I think I'll add those.
Yeah, I feel like it just will add that extra, you know, that little extra.
Right.
All right, I think I'm down to the last little part.
Let's see what I got here. Oh, I want to go back and
Last little part.
I got one side
You got one side?
of like hat. Basically, I still have to do the back halves of my ruffles, but I will.
Okay. Well, that's still like you're basically like half done.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and I am gonna try it on, but I have officially, what I'm nervous about is because I didn't try it on.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about that, but we'll see. I mean, it's not a difficult fix. It just takes some time to take a seam rip and put the other stitch in. The good news is that it can be done. Oh, so the only other thing I need to do is I need to figure out where I want my sleeve to be.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, like where am I going to do that little tack part? So this is the final, if you could see it with the ruffles. Like the ruffles are like super full and it just looks so cute. I mean, it is so cute. So for the record, or as a reminder, I do still need to figure out what I'm going to do with my facing. Yeah, I need to figure that part out. What I'm doing with my facing, because I don't really like that whole extra layer. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm going to either serge it and then do a stitch, or I'm going to do a flat fell stitch just to make it like really, like so you don't see it. I don't like the extra layer underneath. But outside of that, I love everything else. I may end up going and adding a layer of ruffles down at the very bottom.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, because I feel like, oh my goodness, it will look so cute to just have another set of ruffles, like just going across the bottom of it. I'm going to cut off all of my extra threads. You see, like you can't see them, but my tails that I use to create my gathers can come off. All right, well, I'm going to, oh, look at this. See, they're already getting caught up in that one. I'm gonna try this on. I'll be right back. Oh, well, let me take it with me.
I will do the same, and so mine will be missing ruffles down one side, on each side, and then the tacks, because I'm not going to tack it until all my ruffles are on. But
until we finish.
Yeah.
Thank you, Monica. Oh, it says, do you think it's possible to make Simplicity 8915B with thick straps to cover the bra? Let me look up 8915B.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
15 view B. So it says, so view A front with view B back. Okay, let's look at it. Let's see. Well, I got to put in the right number first. 89. B. Oh, well, let me see. 8915. Why is it not coming up? Let me see. Simplicity. Oh, let me see. Okay, so 8915B, let me just show you all what that is. It is this. It's a Mimi G. If you could see that, that's 8915B. Okay, so now I'm looking at this and let me see. Question. It says, so 8915 view B. So view B is this view. View B is the, let me show you the back of view B. This is view B. Can you all see that? That's view B. So it says thick straps to cover the bra. So view A front and view B back. So this is view B's back. And this is view A in the front. So that's view A in the front. And then view B in the back, which I've made. So let me see. Do I think it's possible to do view A in the front? So what you would have to figure, you could, so this is the thing, you could do view A, which let me move this down. View A in the front. Oh, what is it doing? My camera doesn't like it. You could do view A in the front, which is this. The thing about it is those straps, when you bring them to the back, these straps, when you bring them to the back, you are basically going to have to take, you're going to have to take the back. What I would do is take this back and I would attach the straps like right here and right here, like each one of those straps, I would attach them. But then in order to get this ruching, you would still have to do a string. But what I would basically do is just do either do a loop. So you're going to still create the casing on both sides. And then I would do a string there and just have it, put it through the top, like have it loop right there and then tie it still at the bottom. If you still want this ruching, if you still want that part, this part on the back, I think you could do it that way. So the key is that you would have to also extend, where is it? Where is it? Okay. You would have to also extend these straps. So, the back, these straps will end at the shoulder. You will have to either create another, you would have to either extend it so that it comes down far enough for you to sew it to the back of here. I do think it's possible to do that though, if that makes sense. I think that's possible for sure. I think that would be a really cute hack. And to your point, it would completely cover the bra strap. So you still kind of get the full look of it. I do think you could do it. All right, I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Okay, guys. So while LaShawn is putting hers on, let me move my machine to the side. Again, mine is not completely done. Still needs tacking. Still needs ruffles down the back. However, the ruffles front, I absolutely love this combination. Okay, super cute. And then it'll be tacked like right here to create the sleeve. This collar is sitting much better. Still needs to be like ironed down because I can feel it flopping out in the back, but isn't she lovely? Let me come closer for a close-up. So there we have it. Ooh, the combo is gorgeous. And so I'll come back and finish this. TikTok fam. And yes, I do think that this organza with like ruffled on the bottom would be perfect. So I'm going to add some of this to the bottom of this. And then I have another color fabric that I'm going to use the same organza for. And I'm excited for that one too. I'm going to make a second captain. But now I'm like, do I want it to be a long one or do I want to play with the length a little bit? We shall see. My one thing about like, I don't wear a lot of like, I'm more of a bodycon girl over flowy most of the time, or like a little bit of a mix. So I think I would maybe actually go out to a medium instead of the small stitching lines on my next one, just to kind of give it more flow, because right now it's almost fighting like, are we giving bodycon or are we giving loose fitting? So right now the stitch line at the hip is just kind of hitting me where it's fitting a little bit tighter than the orange one, but still gorgeous.
Okay, so here we are. I don't know if you could really see it because again, this is so see-through. But let me see. First of all, I'm going to see yours, Danesha. I love that brown. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that. Like that green, I would have like reversed it.
What?
Did that as your like main fabric?
The organza?
Yeah.
Mm.
That would be like, but I love that. That is so, it's giving like rich auntie.
Okay.
I love it. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I like it a lot.
Ruffles came out so nice and full. I have to try the lightweight, like a mesh. I had a mesh, but I didn't have enough yardage by far.
Yeah, so just if you want to like get a feel for like the ruffle, I mean the ruffles are just like ruffling. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Quana. Yeah, so I also did the small too, and I feel like the small is going to be okay because I'm planning on wearing this as a bathing suit cover. So it's going to give me like the fit. And but to your point, I heard what you mentioned about making it a little bit looser. If I was to make this as a dress, because I have like gained a little bit of weight, I would definitely do a medium just to give it a little. I mean, I don't know. I kind of do like a little bit of a fitted look, and it's definitely fitted for sure. It's definitely.
I think because in the back it just leaves like that gaping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh okay.
So like the belt to this one, I would actually probably. My other thought was putting buttonholes on the side and doing a belt that only ties in the back because I wouldn't want it around.
Yes. Right. That's another good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dee. Yeah, this is so nice. So yeah, I am gonna add some ruffles to the bottom of mine because I just feel like it's not missing it, but I could definitely feel like you can use the ruffles at the bottom. You do want to be like careful because obviously that's gonna add like a couple of inches to the length if you are gonna do ruffles at the bottom, unless you make them like a little bit, you make them shorter than the ones on the side.
Yeah, I think for me, because this it works out because this brown one is a little bit shorter because when I went to Joann to get fabric, I got the end of the bolt and it wasn't quite enough. So people would literally give me that extra length and be like perfect for the hem. So I'm definitely gonna do that.
So that is perfect.
Yes, the belt thing, I'm definitely
I like that belt idea for sure.
Belt.
Yeah, but I love it. I feel like the camera does not do it justice for how it actually looks, but it will be perfect, and it's nice and cool. Yes, it is nice and cool. Oh, thank you so much. Black Swan Network just made what do you call it? A super, I forget what it's called. I need to learn the names of all of those. A super chat. Thank you so much, Black Swan Network.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yet somebody said Meb said vacation vibes. Yes, totally vacation vibe. I would have been like the it girl in the Maldives with this on.
Oh my goodness.
Go on another vacation. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Any last questions? Again, thank you, Black Swan Network, for coming through with the super chat. We appreciate you.
Love to see.
Thank you. So awesome. If you make this, please tag on social. Make sure you do hashtag pattern hacking 24. Make sure you do that for the challenge. I'm going to post the rules in my stories on Instagram, but make sure you check that out. Also tag Classified Life, which is Danesha. Tag me if you're on Instagram. So Danesha, you're Classified Life on both YouTube and Instagram. And I'm Let's Get Social on YouTube and So Sophisticated Designs on Instagram. Make sure you tag us. We love to repost. Black Swan Network loves to repost. We will definitely, and Chris, I'm sure, Unsocial loves to repost. But yes, this is a easy make. I'm not gonna say it's quick, but when you add the ruffles, it does take a little bit of time. We figured that out today. But thank y'all all for like hanging in there. So pattern hackathon. Thank you, Chris. I'm so sorry. Not pattern hacking 24. Scratch that. Hashtag pattern hackathon 24. Like one of the best challenges going on right now. Definitely, if you make this, you should post on Instagram. I'm going to again post the rules in my stories so that you all can get credit for it. I'm definitely getting credit. This is like probably my third thing that I'm submitting for Pattern Hackathon 24. Like I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Any last minute tips, thoughts, any questions from anyone before we wrap things up?
Yay! Thank you, Natalie, for joining us. And when you're done, please post, tag us. I will repost and show some love.
Yes, huge shout out to Natalie who sewed along with us today. Like, we love it. Thank you so much, Natalie, for sewing along. And I can't wait to see your make. Cannot wait to see it.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, huge shout out to Black Swan Network. This is the Power Hour series. Make sure you check out the Black Swan Network calendars to see what else we're sewing for the rest of this month and next month. And then thank you again for the huge super chat. Greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much. And we will see you on the socials. And I'll be back next Friday. Let's Get Social Live. We are sewing a halter wrap skirt for our Power Hour. It is an easy to sew pattern and also quick. So good night. Thank you. Thank you again, Danesha. Appreciate you. Great pattern, great design. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night, Dee. Bye, Natalie. Thank you. Thank you, Chris, Unsocial, Marilyn, Meb. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate you. Thank you, Quana. Thank you, Carm. Thank you, Monica. Thank you all.
Thank you, ladies. Bye.
Bye.